Sally Smith. How you doing, Sally?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing excellent today. For a Monday, it's a great day. So why don't we go ahead and get started with just sharing a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Okay. Last 17 years, I have been a stay-at-home mom with my kids. And I would say about 6 years or so, I started to play with beads. And I had a friend in Maryland who said, why don't you send me some of that stuff? I think I could sell it. So I just kept going. We decided to name the business JTM Designs. It's Julie and Tyler's mom. And
Okay.
that way, as I age, I won't forget my children's names. And yeah, I do a lot of custom jewelry work in my home studio.
Okay. So what does that mean? So you decided to play with beads. So what do you do with them?
I make jewelry. I do a
Okay.
lot of work. I do a lot of wire work. I do a lot of redesign work. A lot of women have a lot of sentimental pieces in their jewelry boxes that they don't wear. So I try to help them get them out of the jewelry box and onto them in some way, shape, or form.
Excellent. So that's got to be a pretty neat. I guess it. Well, tell me how it started. I mean, did it start off as a hobby and then it turned into a business, or did you
Yeah,
always?
it was a hobby. I had that friend who encouraged me, was shocked that someone wanted to purchase something from me and they weren't related to me. And then it just grew from there. I took my kids over the last 6 or 7 years to farmers markets and craft shows. Recently, the last couple years, decided I had had enough of craft shows and I was going to start trying to do things out of the house. So my daughter and I started an event called Christmas in the Country. We cleaned
Okay.
out every room in our house, decorated it for Christmas. Every room had a different theme. And we pulled in last year about $426 for Fox Valley Volunteer Hospice just by asking for a small donation at the door.
So this was
So
in your house?
yeah, it was. I had my then 15-year-old on my side, so we ganged up on my husband as things usually. Um, yeah, to his dismay, we had a hugely successful event. It was definitely a special, and
His dismay. I love it.
my son got on board making dog treats and dog toys. My daughter now has her own side crafting business, and now we're going to move. We moved out of the house. We've outgrown the house for sure. We've had about 25 vendors in the past. So now we're moving to a heated tent at Coron Farm in Campton Hills in November.
Nice. So is this a once a year kind of thing, or is it
It's once a year.
Christmas?
Actually, all that's only been for one day. We do all that preparation work for one day in our house.
Wow.
And garage gets pretty full with everybody's possessions, and then we spend the whole rest of the year putting things back so that we can take them out again.
That's excellent. So it sounds like you keep yourself pretty busy. I mean, does that kind of drive in most of the awareness of what you do through that process, or?
Driven in a lot. There's a lot of handcrafted products out there, and locally we found a lot of artisans that produce some pretty spectacular work. And we find that there's a lot of shows in the areas that are pretty pricey to get into for a one event. And while it's a good fundraiser, we decided to do ours with a twist, and we didn't charge rent to our vendors. We just advertised through word of mouth. Every vendor brought in their customers and friends and family. And it's been a nice model, and we hope to grow it over the years. Our goal this year is to be able to bring in a great deal more for Fox Valley Volunteer Hospice. We would like to have a 2-day event, making it a Friday, charge a little more, have kind of a pre-shop, because the ladies go a little crazy when they think they're getting something exclusive. So we're going to have a little shop event for them on the night before our event. So we'd like to bring in, we're hoping for over 1,000 this year.
Nice. 1,000 people in your home.
Well, we're going to go to a heated tent this year.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
For heated tents. And,
Okay.
yeah, we'd like to do $1,000. Just asking for a couple dollars at the door.
Wow. So what type of vendors do you typically have at this event? What type of vendors are typically there?
It's a 100% artisan event. So everything there is handcrafted.
Everything's-
Unlike Etsy, which is the website that now is under fire for a lot of imports. So
Okay.
first year we allowed vendors. The second year we did all handcrafted. And things that we would like to buy, unique things that are made locally.
Sure.
So we want to
Nice.
be the event for Christmas shopping, different holiday shopping. We want to start it off. We're going to kick it off in November.
Nice. Well, that sounds exciting.
Yeah. Santa
Um,
Claus always visit too, so that helps.
Yeah. So, I mean, it sounds like you're pretty passionate about what you do. What do you feel like started that?
My husband, to be honest with you, it
Okay.
was support of you have to have something for yourself when you're home with your kids.
Yep.
I was home with two of them for quite some time, and there was a value all of a sudden. People. It was something that I'm passionate about. I love to create things. I've always done craft projects with the kids. But the business aspect of putting the price tags on things, that makes that's a whole nother realm for me.
Right.
So,
Excellent. So, yeah, having a good support system is always the key, right? Yeah, you got to have it. And that's great that your husband's supportive, even though you took over his home.
I do that now. I used to have a tiny dining room and when we lived in Elk Grove, and now that we're in St. Charles, I have a whole room to myself.
Nice.
All my dogs, two dogs too. So.
So when you're putting on these shows or just doing your typical handcrafting, with the jewelry that you're making, I mean, what gets you most excited about what you do?
I think that I am excited because I create something special for someone that's one of a kind. The piece that anybody can go anywhere and buy a piece of jewelry, but mine is made specifically for that particular person. I have a wedding coming up in August and I'm doing the bridesmaids. And I've had the bride here and I've had two of the bridesmaids come and try on different styles with the dress, and just seeing them get excited about something that was made especially for them that they're not going to find anywhere else.
Nice. So do you get them involved in the piece, or do they bring
I do. I
know?
one of my studio. A lot of times people will send me pictures and say this is what the dress looks like, but they need to come into my studio and touch the beads and see what I have available for them. And it's a very comfortable space for them to hang out for a little while. So
Sure. Cool. That sounds neat.
yeah, it's the sentimental piece of things for me. I have all my grandmother's old earrings and no one in a million years would wear them. Maybe 30 more years and we'll start wearing them again.
Yeah.
But them apart and I've made magnets out of them and I've made special jewelry for my daughter and myself out of them, and things keep going.
Nice. So you find yourself working a lot with brides, or are there other targeted markets that you deal with?
Yeah, nothing really, not a real specific niche.
Okay.
Actually just started expanding into a couple salons and actually a chiropractor's office where I set jewelry. I'll do a vignette for them and then change that out every once in a while. So I do a little Easter theme, a little Mother's Day, just something different for them to have to entertain their clients while they're waiting for them.
Excellent.
Jewelry is very entertaining, Jeff.
Yeah. I wear a lot myself. You have it nice.
Adorned too. I always forget to put mine in.
Oh man. So, running any type of business requires you to, to stay focused and grounded and keep the balance as much as you can, with your family and whatnot. What are some of the strategies that you use to kind of stay on top of your game?
I'm looking for that magic pill, Jeff, if you have it.
There's no magic pill, but always, it's interesting to hear the little things that people do, and
yeah, oftentimes people ask me, well, how long does that take you? And I can't honestly say in the whole time I've done this that I've ever sat down and finished a piece from start to finish in a sitting, because there's always, whether it's the doorbell, whether it's homework, whether it's, taekwondo, there's always something interrupting there. So for me, it's really an escape where I can go in after everybody's in bed for a couple hours and knock out some work.
All right. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's really tough when you look at the balance aspect of, why you're really doing, this business, and some people do it as a creative outlet. Some people are, super serious about it, and it's something that provides for their family. And it's just interesting to hear, the different strategies that people have that kind of help them make sure that they get the important stuff in their life, every day.
Yeah.
Because, like, to your point, I mean, it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy. So, if you were sitting across from someone else, and maybe that was you when you first started, and you had a chance to give that person or yourself some advice that you've learned over the years that you could have used when you started, what would you say to yourself at that point?
Don't let the fear hold you back. So for me, I'm sitting here with you. I really, really wanted to cancel last night because I started a couple shows online, and just not being afraid, committing to that and thinking we're all going to make mistakes, but that's the way we learn.
Right.
So.
No, and that's great advice. I mean, I'm a firm believer that you can't be 50% committed to anything, and you're either committed or you're not. It's a discrete choice that everyone has, and it's amazing what happens when you do make that decision to go for it.
Absolutely.
Amazing. So I appreciate you not canceling on me, because I wouldn't have gotten to meet you, and you're doing a great job too, so that's even better. And then you won't have a chance to ask everybody to help you. So, we're both a part of the Coopratizing Network. That's how we met. If you had a chance to kind of reach out and whether it's asking for help or maybe saying, this is how I can help you, to the rest of the group, I mean, what kind of things come to mind as far as, ways to work better together?
Well, I think that piece of everybody, we all have value. We all have something to add. And we're all dynamic. Everybody's different. And don't be afraid to, make that call, ask for help, ask for a contact. I'm always trying to think of how I can help someone else's business grow. And I think that's a big piece of things, is us being able to help each other.
Right. Yep. So, if there's anybody, and we already talked about, potential brides being a great client for you. Are there any other types of businesses that would mesh well with what you do that maybe we can, draw some attention to through this process?
Well, I think for myself, I'm trying like I said, the vignette route in salons. I do the inventory, I keep track of everything, I make the changes. So anybody who has space, sort of a real estate thing, we all like to look at sparkly things. And, everybody has at some point something they want to give something to someone, so if there's any waiting areas, anything like that, any massage places, just where people are typically waiting and, looking through magazines or, maybe wanting to look at jewelry hanging there, something they might like for themselves or someone else. I think that would be a nice power fit for me, or power partner.
Okay. Yeah. So if you're out there and you have a place where people are sitting around waiting for your services, make sure you give Sally a call. And if they're trying to get a hold of you, what's the best way to reach you?
My cell every time it rings, so my cell phone is best.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
630-432-2743. And you can call her anytime.
Do you have like a Facebook page or a website or anything?
I do. It's jtmdesigns with an s.com, and it's the same on Facebook, jtmdesigns.com.
Okay. So yeah, be sure to check her out. And it sounds like it would be neat. I didn't want to put you on the spot and say, do you have anything to show us? But it sounds like you do some interesting work, and make sure that everybody goes to that website and check out what you got to offer.
My space.
What's that?
I said, I'm happy to turn my camera around to show you my space. I just don't know if I can do it very well.
Try it. Go ahead.
Tell me if you can see anything here. You see the desk?
Sure.
And that's my workbench. And those are some of my finished pieces.
Oh, excellent.
I don't know how that works.
There you go. Quick tour of the business too.
There you go.
All righty. Well, it's been a pleasure today getting to know you and learning about your business that you're running, and hopefully the people that are watching this video can connect and who knows, share some of that awesome workmanship that you have with the people that are sitting in waiting rooms all across the area.
Thanks, Jeff, very much. I appreciate your time today.
Yeah, and I appreciate yours too. And for the rest of everyone else, we'll see you guys online soon. Thanks a lot.